Welcome back to Soul Spark Vibe. I'm Jen. Over here we got Sophia, and
Hey.
we're Soul Spark Vibe, here to spark your soul so that you can ignite your best life. And so tonight we're going to be talking about pendulums. We haven't really gotten into different modalities of divination on this show yet, which I think that we've talked about it in different shows, and we're starting to dabble today. So I have, yeah, Sophia and I were sharing our pendulums with each other and kind of thought that this would be a cool topic. Um,
Sorry.
beautiful, beautiful little rose quartz.
Yeah, it's really cool. Sorry. Thanks.
Yeah, with like are they different like chakra stones? Are they
Yes.
stones?
Yep.
Super cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
mine are a little chakra S
Yeah.
kind of thing,
We're
right?
like cousins or something.
Oh my goodness. Such a dork. Anyway, so we're also a little bit distracted today. So we're just gonna flow with however today goes. Hopefully, we're gonna the skeleton of this episode is gonna be pendulums. We'll see what happens. We're gonna flow with where we end up going. Um, but yeah, I think these are really cool tools to use. I know I usually have mine like right next to it. Stays in. Actually, I have my little pouch here. It's my tarot cards and my pendulum stay in it, and they come with me everywhere. And sometimes it's just really cool to, if you have a question, it's like, I don't know how to answer this, and you need something just like super objective that you just see to tell you yes or no, which kind of almost can seem like giving your power away. Like, and I'm just kind of like flowing with what comes to mind right now. But um, what's really cool about it is that it's more of a connection with your higher self. So it's your own connection that's actually the force behind the movement. So in actuality, it's not giving. I don't believe it would be giving your power away. It's connecting with your higher power. Um, yeah. So Sophia, I kind of want to pop it over to you because I know we kind of chatted a little bit, and I know that it's something that I have a little bit of knowledge on. Like we're gonna get into some steps, some like basics on how to start working with a pendulum. But I kind of want to just like throw it over to you real quick, learn a little bit about you and your little pendulum journey.
Yeah, sure. So I've always had a connection to pendulums. I've always been fascinated by the idea. And growing up, like, and dibbling and dabbling in different, like, witchcraft and I don't want to, like, add a stigma to the pendulum, like, that you have to practice Wicca or be pagan or something. It's not the case at all. But, so I've always had a fascination with them. And, like, in the back of my mind, it's always something that I wanted to practice. And since I keep referring to my spiritual awakening, but really that's what like catapulted all of this type of study and practice. So since then, I've been drawn. Like, okay, so for instance, this I not this one. There's another pendulum that I bought like years ago, like even prior. I think might even been prior to my spiritual awakening, just because I've been called to them. So I don't know if I used them in a past life or something. But the purpose of me saying that is that so I bought it and it sat like in a bag, like that I never touched it again. But like I've always been drawn to different to them, to stones, to pendulums in particular, and the ability and like the fascinate or like the mystery behind the ability of getting answers from my higher self. That's what I've also at first like I thought it was like more um I don't know what you say who or whatever, like maybe like spirits or entities. But really the more I learned, because I read about them, because there was one time more recently when I printed out like a pendulum board, and I can't wait to hear like your take on like how to use them, because I just Google search stuff, and then Google's like, we all know, it's like the worst source for information. Anybody can write a website or whatever and be anyway. I don't want to discredit anybody either, but so I have a connection. I don't have a connection with my pendulum, but like I've used it before. I know that you can ask I know that you can ask yourself yes no questions, and I've played with it. I know from what I understand, it's like your own. So there's energy that comes out of our fingertips, out of our entire body, but like, and by energy I mean electricity. Like it's so subtle that we can't see it, but if you meditate, actually, sometimes you can actually see, like, when you see the heat coming off of a car. If you meditate on your fingers and put the energy there through breathing techniques, you could actually see your aura, or even see the subtle electricity coming from it. So from what I understand, it's like a projection of your electricity or your energy, and the connection with the mind.
You're
That's
on the right page with it.
okay.
so so what it actually is, and all of our movements are actually just biologic biological bioelectrical impulses. Right, so we have like biological things that happen, like muscles contract and rest- con- wait, expand and
Yeah.
contract, expand
Oh,
and contract, right? But it's because of electrical impulse. So it's like a bioelectrical impulse. And so there have been studies done where um our subconscious knows what we're doing before we do. Right? So there have been studies where it was like and I don't even know the name of it, but it was like a right button or left button, and they studied the impulses, the neurological impulses, and it showed that the brain knew what was going to be chosen, like like almost like a quarter of a second or a half a second before the hand actually even started moving, right? So it's like our brain, like we have these impulses, and from my understanding, and it is very much along the lines of what you were saying, where it's like the mind energy control, but it is more of like a biological reaction where you're going to kind of sway in one direction or another. It's not even, I don't even want to say sway, because it's not like you're moving the pendulum, and then that's not the point. Actually, there's a little ball typically on the top, and you want to hold that like in your fingers, so that you're not, because if you, and I, for a while, like I would hold it like this, but you're more likely to move it and everything. So if you just hold it by this, you can hold it pretty dang straight, right? Like that doesn't even, I don't know, it doesn't look like it's moving to me. Um, but when you ask it a question, it's that impulse, and that's what kind of like shoots an impulse down your arm in the direction of it, of the answer. Um, does that make sense?
yeah. That sparked something, and I don't know if we should go off onto it, but so I
Uh,
saw this documentary called "Who's in Control," and I think it was put out by like PBS or CBS or something. I'll add it to the um description after. But dude, it was insane. It was insane to me how they had a computer. I forget what college in New York or whatever that had like, oh my god, I'm probably gonna explain this wrong, but like, okay, your fingers are like this, and they had a computer tell the finger to go like this. Like you, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing right here, right?
yeah.
And they would ask the person who told your finger to go like that, and sometimes they would say themselves. Sometimes they would say they don't know. Like this is a bad, like it's sorry back like
No, but that's exactly it.
it's
It's that
like, are we
impulse.
even in control? Like when you go to grab a drink, like I can't talk to it, but like you got to see that documentary if you haven't. I'll add the link.
Who's in control? Yeah, we'll throw it in the description, and
Yeah,
I'll
who's in
totally
control?
check it out. I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
But it's that's exactly what it is. Where like we have these impulses. Um, yeah, yeah. So that is um the mechanics of what is happening when you use a pendulum. Um, so so I know you mentioned the pendulum boards, and I don't know how to use them, to be honest with
okay.
you. I just do yes no. And I haven't tried using a board with my own pendulum. It's usually like at a metaphysical shop when I like pick up a pendulum, and then I'll like use the board. But I have been told by I got a reading done probably like a year ago now, and she told me, because I will wobble sometimes, like I can feel, it's like it's a different energy, but it's like it'll like I kind of like shift around a little bit. I don't really know how to explain it. But when I was talking to her about it, she was like, "Yeah, it's like your body trying to be used as a pendulum." She was like, she recommended getting a pendulum board so that I could use it as an extension, and that would. So I think that maybe that's something that I would like to explore, but it's not something that like I've really dabbled in. Um, but you could get a lot more information like that because they have like the letters and stuff like that. So it's really cool. And I might be blocking myself when I don't know when I use it because I'm like, how is it going to swing all the way over here to give me this letter? You know, so
No,
I block it myself.
there's different ones. Like the one I use, I think it said like yes, no, and like two other things. I
Oh,
forget.
really?
Yeah, yeah, just a spot to have. Yeah.
So okay, cool. So that's perfect because so that's what I pretty much use these for, right? Like I use my pendulum pretty much for yes no questions. And so I've had this pendulum for over 3 years now, and still, when I pick it up, I will ask, I will ask it if it's okay that I ask a question. Hey, are you open to me asking a question right now? And I know the yes no, but sometimes I'll even give it a check. But simply it's as simple as holding the pendulum up and then say, "Show me yes." Thank you. Can you show me no? Thank you.
Wow, you got a connection with that. I
Very
feel
much
like,
so.
yeah.
Is the woman on the screen named Sophia? I'm not going to tell anybody what way that was going. Yeah, no, but it's as simple as that. And like when you first like if you go into a metaphysical store, that's like the best place to go. They're always going to have some pendulums. You can go through because not all of them are going to resonate and connect with one person. That was like one of the most frustrating things because I don't know, I like things to work for me. But I would like pick up a pendulum and just nothing. Um, but yeah, so when you go in, just can you show me yes? Can you show me no? Is the sky under my feet?
Ah.
I'm gonna. Is the sky under my feet? Cool. Thank you. And just respect it. Like that's another like, but that's like with like all like the crystals, the cards, like all of it. It's a higher knowledge that's coming to help. So it's definitely nice to show respect to and everything. Ooh, got a little puppy.
Sorry, she was just. I thought I'd share with you guys. She literally just made a bed within my bed. She was like digging. Not to interrupt.
Yeah, so that's like the basics of how to start using a pendulum.
I know a lot of people use them. So if anybody has any suggestions or especially for me being a beginner, but I know it's kind of like a personal thing. Probably everybody's got like nobody can really tell somebody else how to do it. Maybe just some suggestions. I'm not sure. Anyway, let me know.
I think a lot of it comes to just like connecting with the piece.
Yeah, that's what
But
I'm
it's
gathering.
yeah, and it's amazing. Like I'll never forget. I worked at a farmer's market, and it was like I want to say it was. I don't know if it was the first time that I saw this, but it was like the first notable time that I saw this. Like the lady came up and I actually think they were ginger candies, is what she picked up. And I was like, "Oh, those are great." And she was like, "Oh, maybe." And she took she pulled a pendulum out of her pocket and put it over the ginger candies, and it said yes. And she was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll get it." And that's how she made her decision. And I was like, "That's
Wow.
freaking cool." It's just another way of connecting with your intuition and like trusting in something higher, something bigger. Um, yeah, so it's a cool little little tool.
I love that.
Yeah. I don't
I'm gonna start
know.
using mine more now.
Ready? It's have we talked about the wobble test?
No,
No,
me,
okay.
me and you have, but not
Not
with
on
the.
here. Yeah, I'm sure I've made you do it a couple times,
Yes,
right? Or
yeah,
try
yeah,
it. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
yeah, look, I found it fascinating. Did it work when you tried it?
I don't remember.
Okay. Um, I
I
don't.
think so.
I
How
mean,
does it go again?
yeah. Should I stand up and do it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm in my pajamas, so.
I'm
um. Okay, so
in my pajamas.
hold on. Okay, so you're gonna stand up, right? And like you're just gonna center. So you're gonna like center yourself, and then you're gonna show me yes, and feel where your body is pulled. Show me no. Okay, so my yes is backwards, my no is forward.
Okay.
I think it's typically the other way, and it's actually interesting because so my higher self, like when I'm connected with my higher self, yes is backwards and no is forward. But sometimes I don't want me answering the questions that I ask. So I'll ask one of my guides or an angel to come and step in. And I know that it's not my higher self because yes turns into forward and back turns into no. So,
Ah,
like it
okay.
switches direction when it's not my higher self, which I thought was like super cool. But that's one that like because I don't always have usually like I'll have my tarot cards in the pendulum like in my backpack, but I don't like if I'm like at the store or something, I don't always have it with me like accessible. But the wobble test is something that I
Oh.
literally use anywhere. I was like in the grocery store the other day with a fucking package of ho-hos in my hand. I wobbled on it. It was affirmative, so I did not
Okay.
hold back. But but like it's like stuff like that would we're all just like totally. I don't know if it was actually ho-hos or not.
Yeah, but I get the point. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, it's just a cool little way to get guidance. Maybe like when I don't know, I find it useful when I'm indecisive about things. Um, and I want outside like opinion, even though it's like me.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
smarter me, you
Yeah,
know?
no. Fascinating.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I'd like
cool.
to hear if anybody else has any other kind of practices.
Sit back in the chair.
Yeah,
Like kneeling on the floor. Didn't know if I was gonna get back up and wobble, you know?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no. Like any different pendulum like uh modality, if it's not even if you have something that we haven't talked about, that would be awesome. I always love trying new things.
Me too,
Super
definitely.
into that.
Well, actually, I should probably start with trying what I have before exploring new, but I totally want to hear
Well,
everybody's experience.
but maybe what you have isn't what you need.
Right,
Not
maybe.
that maybe I think that where we are, what we have is always what we're supposed to and what we need, right? Like, but yeah, maybe it's just not the right way of looking at it. So, or yeah, not.
Maybe something I'll connect to something else
Thank
stronger.
you, thank
Yeah,
you. Yes, that's
right.
exactly. Glad you got that.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, no, so you never know, right?
Yeah,
Um,
so share.
yeah, that's and let us know what you use your pendulum for. There's so many different things that you can use them for. I am pretty vanilla over here with my
Yeah.
yes and no, my yes and no questions. But yeah, share with us what you use it for. And okay, so if you are still here, you are amazing. You're
Love
awesome.
you.
We love you, and we don't want to neglect the fact that there is a fucking eclipse coming up in a couple of days because we're really excited about this. So we're gonna pivot from if are you okay, Sophia, if we pivot from the pendulums?
Yeah.
Do you have like anything else that you wanted to say on that?
Unfortunately, I don't.
That's awesome. That's cool. Yeah, and any more questions, throw them in the comments. Maybe I or Sophia will be able to help you. Maybe somebody else will.
Hey.
But this eclipse that's happening, it's gonna be freaking awesome. Sophia and I are heading to upstate New York to go check it out
Oh
in path of
shit.
totality. It's going to be a blast. And next week, we're going to talk a little bit about the experience. So we didn't want to not bring it up because it's going to be a huge deal. And next week, the episode, we're going to share a little bit about what we experienced. So don't miss it.
It's also a new moon the night
The,
of the eclipse.
the new moon.
Yeah, it
What
is.
is it in Aries? No, no,
Yes.
the sun's in Aries, right? The
Yeah,
moon's in Aries as well.
I believe so. That's what I yeah, I believe so.
It
I
might
could
be.
be wrong.
I have no idea. I'm not even too sure.
But we'll do our research and make sure that we get you the right information.
That we will. That we will.
And know what we're getting in, what will be, what energies will be in our midst.
I think this is supposed to be a really spiritual one for me.
Yeah, I feel like it definitely is for me. And without even knowing much about its placement or within what constellations or what historically that has been, how that has affected Earth, I feel it without knowing that, if that makes sense.
I I do know a little bit about yours.
Yes, I shared.
I do know a little
You
bit
know
about
what?
yours.
I've got a lot of anxiety. I feel a lot of frustration. It's odd, but I
Yeah.
know it's coming from a cosmic source because I'm not stressed. There's no reason for me to be. I mean, I'm in school and it's always stressful, but that's nothing new. This is new. So, and I feel it throughout my body. So I definitely, and I'm very connected with the moon as it is. Like I think I've shared with you guys a couple of times that I use the moon for manifestation and different things. So
Yo, we are gonna blow the lid off of this eclipse, dude.
yeah, I feel like I'm moving into a new reality. Like definitely,
And
I
we're
feel
camping
it.
out for
I'm
it.
acting different. Like for Easter, I literally messaged like 100 people that I haven't talked to in years. Like I don't
Really?
even fucking celebrate Easter. Like I don't know what's going on, but
I was
something.
surprised to get an Easter text from you.
Were you? Yo, I texted your brother. I
It's so funny.
I texted everybody and their mother. It was really weird. I just woke up and I had a dream the night before that I was in contact with old friends. And it's weird because like I don't know if you guys want to hear about all this, but I was contemplating going to hang out with like some friends I used to hang out with, but like I don't smoke anymore, I don't drink anymore, and I'm on a diet. So like I didn't go because I didn't want to be influenced. And I'm like, I didn't really miss out on much. But then that night I had a dream about really old friends, like, and a lot of them, like I journal it. Like I literally, like, I don't know, like 10 different names are in that motherfucker. And then the next day I wake up and I don't know if I influence myself or it's my higher self or my future self giving me hints at what's going to happen the next day. This whole premonition thing I'm really confused about, but I'm trying to just go with the flow because I spend all day making these connections to my dreams the night before. And it's like, yo, just live, let it ride. Like all this thinking you're doing is not like I feel like I'm supposed to learn from the symbols of my dreams, but I overthink it. Like I feel like I need to take a step back. But anyway, so the next day I wake up, it's Easter, and I message like 100 people. So I'm transforming before my eyes. I'm becoming more social. I've been an introvert for the past 10 years. Like hiding my feelings, hiding who I am, hiding my story. But things are changing and it's looking up for me. So I'm really, and I think it has something to do with this eclipse. I mean, what else? Nothing else has changed really. Well, that's not true. I'm gaining confidence in my new field of study and I got a promotion at my job. So I'm gaining confidence. So that helps. But like maybe that's catapulted from this because an energy like this doesn't just happen overnight. This has been building and building and building.
Cumulative type thing
Yeah.
for sure. It's yeah. You're
Yeah.
just you're at a cool place, man.
Yeah, dude. And
I'm
I'm
stoked.
excited for the eclipse to happen. I feel like I'm gonna walk into a whole new life.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Same here. Same here. In a very big way. my faith in just everything has been taken to the next level, and it's like I think I've probably said this before. I don't feel like a lot of my transformation I've had a choice with, right? Like I don't think, and a lot of people don't, right? But like this is it's just fucking annoying right now. I feel a lot of pressure to maybe it's a balance thing where I'm too structured. Like I like my routine. I like I like things in certain ways sometimes, and I'm like being forced to just flow. Like it is, I am being shown time and time again, like nothing works the way that I want it to. Like my plans are not the plans that need to be followed. And I fucking hate it, dude. I'm like, I'll go through. Today's been a rough day. It's great. It's a great life, right?
No,
But
I feel you. I've had those lessons taught to me too, especially at FedEx. Like I've learned so much. So FedEx was almost like a training camp for me. Like I couldn't, and it's so crazy actually. I can relate to you, Jim, because like when I first started, I was loading trucks. And like I wanted to control everything. I wanted to put my orders, like if it was a bulk order, I want to put it here and I want to do this way. And nothing at that place, nothing is ever the same. Day by day, it's different. So I would go at them, like I'd want to walk out. Like because but anyway, so like I profoundly learned some of those lessons on the line. Like I told them guys at FedEx that I was gonna start a podcast. We would like joke and stuff because I was like, I've learned so much from this place. Like I got to tell the world all the lessons I learned on the van line and FedEx. But
yeah, I worked for UPS, the preload. So I did the trucks in UPS. Like that's where I really enjoyed. Like I had like my OCD was able to shine there.
Yo, word.
The trucks looked nice, but it was like, especially during Christmas time, like it's just chaos. It's just chaos. There's nothing
There's no control. Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah.
It actually brings out a lot of my good weird traits, like my ADHD and OCD. Yeah, it's a great place for me. I'm flourishing, and I'm a team player to the fullest, and they work as a team. It's almost like a sports team, or like, it's cool.
Yeah. Well, I just want to acknowledge that looking at like ADHD and stuff like that as a positive is huge.
Yeah.
I totally see that as like one of my superpowers. Is my ability to do like 50 things at once, successfully, like, and efficiently. I don't overdo it, obviously, but yeah, like I've been so unfocused for so long, being focused while unfocused, like consciously unfocused or something. I don't know,
Yeah. But I feel you actually.
Yeah, and like there are different traits that, or yeah, might have more negative connotation, but are super awesome to have and utilize if utilized properly, when it's cool.
Yeah. And it took a long time to, anyway, it's a great time for me.
For me, it took a lot of time, like a long time to personally like manage it.
Yeah.
It was a whole, that's a whole thing that we could get into, like with
we should.
and everything. Probably.
Yeah, that's a great
one. That was a whole roller coaster of an experience through my, like, most of my life, really.
Yeah.
And yours, I'm sure. I think, right?
Definitely. Yeah. Well, and my siblings with Tourette's and
God, yeah. Joey and Nikki the entire time, right? Our entire lives. I totally probably
it's over. It's over next time, so it's cool.
All right. This has been an amazing time. Thanks. If you're still here, kudos to you, man. You're awesome. We're awesome. You're awesome. We love you. Yeah. Share what you're doing for the eclipse. Let us know how you use your pendulum. All of the things, what you're experiencing during this season. Like, we're obviously feeling some stuff. I'm sure you are too. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Good night. Good day.